The movie begins in a prison called the Platform, where we see a group of people stating their reasons for entering this prison to an official. They also choose the specific types of food they will eat during their stay. On the first day for the new prisoners, we find two inmates in cell 24, a man named Zamiatin and a woman named Perempuan. They stand before the food platform that descends daily, and it appears someone has eaten the meat off Zamiatin's pizza. They hear prisoners talking about the inmate in cell 21, cursing him for breaking the prison law by eating from his fellow inmates' food. Zamiatin gets annoyed and decides to eat from the food in front of him, but the prisoner in cell 23, named Robbie, calls out to him and stops him. He reminds him of the prison law, which forbids any prisoner from eating another's food unless that prisoner allows it. Zamiatin argues that the prisoner in cell 21 ate his food, so Robbie promises that the group of the Anointed Ones will solve this problem the next day. However, Zamiatin ignores Robbie and decides to eat. Perempuan steps in, telling Zamiatin that Robbie is right and offers to share her food with him, to which he agrees. Robbie thanks them, saying what they did is worthy of respect because they respected their fellow prisoners and preserved their food. After the platform descends to the level below, Perempuan and Zamiatin get to know each other. When Zamiatin asks why she entered the prison, Perempuan tells her story. We flash back to the day she met the prison official. The official asks Perempuan why she chose that specific dish, and she says her boyfriend loved it. When asked if she misses him, Perempuan remains silent. The official then asks why she chose to enter the prison voluntarily. Perempuan explains she needs time alone to rid herself of the guilt haunting her. She reveals she is a visual artist who created a sculpture of a fierce dog attacking its prey. She displayed it in a major art gallery. Her boyfriend visited with his son, but the boy was mischievous and ran around playing. While playing, the sculpture fell on him and killed him. Perempuan says she was at fault for not ensuring safety measures, making her the cause of the child's death. Although her lawyer got her acquitted and the sculpture sold for a high price, her conscience tormented her, leading her to the platform. In the present, Perempuan holds a charcoal pencil, the item she chose to bring, and draws on the cell wall. Zamiatin admires her drawing. When asked about his entry, he reveals he is a mathematician, not mentally ill as he told the official, and didn't burn his house down. He explains he loved mathematics, but lost faith in it after discovering unrealistic numbers in equations. He withdrew from the world and left his family, feeling like a failure who contributed nothing to society. Perempuan is surprised he would do this to himself over a math equation. While talking, they hear shouting from cell 44. Robbie appears and explains that prisoners in cell 44 are angry because cells 42 and 43 ate their food. Robbie notes this is the second violation of the day. Therefore, prisoners in 42 and 43 will be punished by being demoted to a lower level, and the prisoner in cell 21 will be punished similarly for eating the meat from Zamiatin's pizza. Robbie concludes by stating there are 333 levels and food should reach everyone, but due to upper levels breaking the law, most lower levels starve. He then warns them to step back from the pit, and suddenly, the platform shoots up at incredible speed. The next day, they hear fighting above. Robbie explains that prisoners in cell 22 are being punished, but are resisting. They realize the fight is happening on the platform. Robbie's cellmate tells Perempuan and Zamiatin to break their beds and use the metal rods for defense. Zamiatin is terrified and says he hates fighting, but Perempuan quickly arms herself. The platform arrives with the body of a prisoner from cell 22. Then Robbie and the other prisoner from cell 22 fall onto the platform. Robbie's cellmate tries to throw out leftover food that fell into her cell to avoid the temperature penalty, but she isn't fast enough. Her body temperature rises, she catches fire, and falls into Perempuan and Zamiatin's cell. Perempuan extinguishes the fire, while Zamiatin stands frozen in shock. Robbie fights the prisoner from cell 22, but is overpowered. Just as he is about to be killed, Perempuan strikes the attacker, knocking him unconscious. The platform descends. Robbie quickly throws the prisoner and the scattered food out to avoid the penalty, especially as the cell begins to freeze. They succeed, and the temperature returns to normal. Robbie ties up the prisoner from cell 22, furious over his cellmate's death. He says he will take the prisoner down to hand him over to the Anointed Ones. Zamiatin asks who they are. Robbie explains they are a group led by a man named Dagin. Dagin was once in a low level where no food reached him for a month, and then another month in a different level with no food. Dagin cut pieces of his own flesh to feed others in starving levels. He then started a solidarity revolution and established a law for fair food distribution. A group joined him, calling themselves the Anointed Ones. They enforced Dagin's law strictly, even at the cost of their lives, and punish violators. Robbie then throws his dead cellmate's body into the pit. The next day, the platform descends, and Zamyatin's pizza is intact. He eats voraciously. Perempuan notices extra food on the platform. Robbie explains it's the food of prisoners who have died. He warns her that the law forbids eating this food, so no one benefits from a death. He insists she and Zamyatin must discard the dead's food daily. He then takes the prisoner from cell 22 down to the Anointed Ones. Days pass. Perempuan discards the food as instructed and stops Zamyatin from eating it, until one time she catches him eating it secretly but stays silent to avoid exposing him. Later, prisoners rejoice because food has reached level 175. A month passes and they are moved to level 180. Unfortunately, the upper levels stop following the law and no food reaches them. Zamyatin becomes ill from starvation. Perempuan cares for him. She sees heads of prisoners being thrown into the pit, realizing the Anointed Ones are executing violators. A woman from the cell above tells her that the previous month, prisoners in level 24 ate the dead's food, causing others to break the law. When asked where she was, Perempuan lies about her previous level to protect Zamyatin from punishment. Eventually, Zamyatin, overcome with guilt and despair, sets himself on fire with his lighter and jumps into the pit. The next month, Perempuan wakes up on level 51 with a one-armed woman named Tina. They learn from below that the prisoner in cell 54 broke the law. He gorged himself in level 2 previously and is now vomiting. Perempuan decides to go down and punish him. The prisoners warn her that only the 4 levels above have the right to punish. Unconvinced, Perempuan shows Zamyatin's lighter, saying her friend died of guilt for breaking the law and she will punish violators herself. Tina decides to join her. They descend on the platform. Prisoners in cell 52 try to stop them, saying they in cell 53 can handle it. One joins them, another stays to communicate. They pick up reinforcements from cell 53 and reach cell 54. A brutal fight ensues. The prisoner is incredibly strong and kills one of the attackers. As the platform descends, he jumps onto it. Tina follows, trying to kill him, followed by Perempuan. The old man in cell 55 attacks the prisoner, but is stabbed to death. Perempuan then attacks the prisoner violently, beating him until he begs for mercy. She spares him, and he descends further. Perempuan tends to Tina's wound. Tina reveals this isn't her first month. She has been there for 6 months. In her first month, she and her cellmate followed the law until they saw a starving young man and decided to give him dead food. Dagin decided to punish them. Her friend resisted and gouged out Dagin's eye, but his group overpowered them. Dagin cut off Tina's arm as punishment, stripped her friend naked, tied her to the platform, and sent her down to be eaten by starving prisoners. Tina says they must escape. She believes the best time is during the gas cycle when prisoners are moved. She mentions a specific substance she tries to use to counteract the gas, but has failed so far. The next day, Dagin and his group arrive on the platform. He decides to punish Perempuan and Tina for unauthorized vigilantism and cell 52 for allowing it. His men bind them. The platform descends, severing their arms. Tina receives the same punishment as her friend, stripped and sent down to be eaten. Perempuan wakes up on level 72 with Trimagasi from the first movie. She asks for his item, a knife, and he gives it to her. When the platform arrives, Trimagasi eats, but Perempuan stands on it, declaring she will take revenge on Dagin. She asks Trimagasi to join, and he agrees. They descend, rallying prisoners to revolt against the Anointed Ones. Many join, including the prisoner from cell 54, who eyes Perempuan with resentment. They reach level 93, deciding to wait there as their numbers are sufficient. Perempuan notices a painting in the cell. The inmate says it's her chosen item. They fashion weapons from bed frames. The next day, the platform arrives empty. Dagin appears on the level above, stating he will cut off their food for a month to weaken them before killing them. Trimagasi argues this sentences Dagin's own loyalists below to death, but Dagin says it's a necessary sacrifice for the law. He offers amnesty to those who surrender, except Perempuan. Many defect and descend. Tensions rise among the remaining rebels due to hunger. Trimagasi suggests going down to eat Dagin's followers. Prisoner 54 attacks Trimagasi, but Perempuan kills him. The rebels rejoice and adopt the cannibalistic plan. Days later, Perempuan faints from refusing to eat human flesh. She wakes to see her allies, including her friend Robbie, among the bodies being eaten. At the end of the month, the battle begins. Dagin and his group descend. A fierce slaughter ensues. Perempuan is wounded. Prisoner 54, who seemingly survived or was another enemy, tries to kill her, but Trimagasi hands her the knife, and she kills the attacker. Everyone dies except Perempuan and Trimagasi. Perempuan decides to escape and asks Trimagasi to come. He refuses, saying there is no escape. She remembers Tina's mention of the gas and realizes the painting might contain the oil substance needed to counteract it. She swallows a piece of the painting and loses consciousness. In another part of the prison, children are shown competing to reach the top of a pyramid. The winner is taken by officials. A child named Marley is among them. Perempuan wakes up tied among corpses on level 332. She sees masked guards moving in zero gravity, arranging prisoners. She frees herself and descends to level 333, the final level. She sees guards placing a child on a bed. She decides to save the child, who will otherwise starve. Struggling in zero gravity, she reaches the child. Suddenly, she hallucinates Goreng, her boyfriend, sitting on the platform, throwing her a knife to kill and eat the child. She snaps out of it, finding herself on the platform with the child. They descend to level 0 into a vast, dark void. A crowd of prisoners surrounds them. One woman tells Perempuan her journey is over, but the child's journey is just beginning. The prisoners help them off the platform, which then ascends with the child. Meanwhile, Goreng is shown with Trimagasi. The child Marley is on the platform before them. Suddenly, Perempuan appears behind Goreng. She hugs him, weeping, and they embrace as the movie ends.